Hey y'all, I want y'all to bear with me. I'm finna try to take y'all somewhere. So, the other night I was thinking, when I was talking to my kids, we was talking about how we listen to rap music, our culture, and it influences us in negative ways. But then other people listen to rap music and they see it as entertainment. Why is that so? I seen a video where they said it's cause in our community there's a lot of low IQ. And I beg to differ, right? It's not that we have low IQ, it's that we have low EQ, right? We don't have a lot of emotional intelligence. And it's because we not taught how to process our emotions. Who got time to teach us that when we struggling every day trying to figure out how we're gonna pay bills and eat, right? So when it comes to our emotions, in reality, there are positive and negative emotions. But when you are in a scarcity mindset, or if you grow up in an adverse environment, which poverty creates an adverse environment, you don't really have positive and negative emotions. You learn to have strong and weak emotions. So you have gratitude, which would be a positive emotion, and anger would be the negative emotion. Hope, positive emotion. Fear, negative emotion. Surprise, positive emotion. Alarm, negative emotion. Admiration, positive emotion. Disgust, negative emotion. Happy, positive emotion. Sad, negative emotion. But in adverse environments, you get a perception that you have strong and weak emotions. So gratitude would be a strong emotion, anger would be a weak, not anger. Anger would not be considered a weak emotion. Anger would be considered a strong emotion in an adverse environment. Hope, strong emotion. Fear, weak emotion. Alarm, weak emotion. Disgust, weak emotion. Sad, weak emotion. So we don't want to feel weak, right? Because we already growing up in something that's hard. You're already living in a daily life that's hard. So you don't want to feel weak. So all those weak emotions, you have to make them strong. And if anger becomes a strong emotion, then instead of feeling any of those other negative emotions, you turn them into anger because it's a strong emotion. I know I said a lot, so I'm gonna try to give you an example to make sense, right? So let's say you're going to work in the morning. They got morning meetings, and you hate these morning meetings, right? Like these meetings be unnecessary in your mind. But instead of you feeling like disgust, this is a negative emotion, right? I just don't like these morning meetings. You feel anger because you mad about the morning meetings. You mad at the people who talking in the morning meetings because you don't want to deal with weak emotions. So you turn them into strong emotions, which would be anger, right? Just like somebody hurt your feelings. This is a good one. Somebody hurt your feelings. Instead of you saying, "Oh, that hurt my feelings. I didn't like when you said that or did that." Instead is, "Oh, I ain't finna let you try me like that. You ain't finna never do that to me again. I didn't like that. Don't do that." Because now anger has to be your strong emotion because sadness makes you feel weak. So anytime that you live in trauma or grow up in trauma, your emotions are distorted. Your perception is distorted. So it's not that your IQ is low, it's that your EQ is low. And when you have low emotional intelligence, your reactions are based off your emotions, which make your reactions look like you have low intelligence because you operating off low emotional intelligence. You moving based off anger most of the time, right? You moving based off being strong because you don't want to appear weak when negative emotions are a part of life. So you can't be afraid of negative emotions. It's okay to get worried, right? And then you go to God and you pray. Instead, we get strong, right? Like I ain't scared of nothing, right? I ain't worried about nothing. How many people don't walk into their own death like that? Because they ain't scared of nothing, right? Because fear is a weak emotion when your emotions are not, when you're not emotionally intelligent. That's why it's so important for us to get emotional intelligence just as much as it is for us to get intellectual intelligence and spiritual intelligence. In order to be whole, you have to deal with your emotions. You have to learn to view them as a part of you and not an external factor that's affecting you and keeping you in bondage. Your emotions help you. They are supposed to guide you, and you have to embrace them in order to feel them. You don't want to be numb. If you consistently looking at emotions as strong and weak, you will become numb because you want to allow yourself to feel anything but strong.